Hi everybody, in this next video I'm going to show you how to link your Google Drive to your Schoology account, and what this will allow you to do is disseminate Google Docs to all of your kids in your class and be able to interact with them on Google Docs through Schoology, okay? So the first thing you're going to want to do from your end is you are going to want to go up to Resources. And once you get brought to your resources page, you're going to want to go over on the left side to where it says apps, okay? Once I click on apps, I have a few different options here, and one option I have is Google Drive Resource App. Now, disclaimer, this is better to do from your computer rather than your iPad. Now, I know that your kids mostly all have iPads, so there is a way you can do it on your iPad. It's not as good. It is a little bit more glitchy, but I'll walk you through some troubleshooting tips when we get there as well. So once you click on Google Drive Resource App, you're going to want to go ahead and it'll ask if you want to connect your Google Drive, and then you'll just go through the connect process that will have you connect your Google Drive. If it asks you to allow access to your Google Drive, say yes. And you go from there. So once you get connected, you'll see your Google Drive come up here. Now, stuff is also not going to be really in order and organized, so if there's a specific document you're looking for, make sure it's titled with a unique title, and you should be able to search for it right up here to pull it up, okay? Now, after you hook it up, I'll show you in just a minute how to add a document to an assignment in just a minute, but what you're going to want your kids to do from here is you're going to want your kids then to, on their iPads, do the same thing but through the Schoology app. Now it's going to look a little bit different through the Schoology app, and let me show you that right here. So when kids go into their Schoology, more than likely they're going to be in one of your courses, okay? So let's pretend I'm a kid and I'm in my course. I'm going to click on these three lines on the top left, and then I'm going to click on this arrow on the top left. Then I'm going to click on Resources. Now, I've obviously got a lot of resources. The kids probably won't, but they're going to scroll down to the bottom, and they're going to see Google Drive Resource App. Now, you can see mine is already connected, so you'll see my Google Drive documents come up. However, the kids will have to go through the sign-in process through Google Drive. Now, mind you, this is a one-time only thing. Once it gets set up and going, you should be good to go, all right? So now, I've got my Google Drive hooked up. My kids have their Google Drive hooked up. How do I add an assignment? Okay. In order to add an assignment or add a Google Drive document to an assignment, I'm just going to go into a class and I'm going to add an assignment. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an assignment just like I would want to pass out a PDF to the kids or anything like that. And once I do that, I should see Google Drive assignments right here. So if I click on that, if I'm hooked up correctly, I should be able to pull from my Google Drive and put that out there. Now what this is going to do is make an individual copy of a Google Drive assignment disseminated to all the kids. So again, the question I get from a lot of teachers is if I give out a PDF, I don't have the ability to then edit their documents and see what they're doing, okay? So I'm going to show you what that looks like now. So once I've added that, I would add the assignment, and we'd be good to go. So here's what it looks like. I'm going to show you a class that I already have hooked up. Okay, so I had I got signed out here. I had a class right here for my English comp. When I click on it, your screen is going to look very different than it normally would because you now have Google Docs hooked up. So here's my assignment for the kids with the rubric at the bottom. Okay, I now have a few options up here. I can look at my assignments that are in progress. I can see what kids have started their document and what kids have not started their document, okay? This is a great, great feature here. I can also leave comments directly in the document and see them as they work. So now their Google Doc is hooked up directly to Schoology. So I can just scroll through each of their individual names and go from there. Here is another great feature, is that when I click on Submissions, I can see who has submitted their document, okay? So now I can see who submitted their document. If I have a rubric hooked up, I can click on the rubric, and it will allow me to go through and click on any of these categories that I have for rubrics, and then click Save, leave any comments. I can leave comments directly in the document, and then I would be done from there. All right. The biggest thing, the biggest issue we have from kids with hooking up their Google Drive assignments is a lot of kids say that it says access denied and things like that. There are a few options you can do, all right? Number one option you can do is have them sign out of Schoology and sign back in. That seems to help sometimes. And another option for them is to try and just go and open up the assignment and do it maybe through a computer if they have access to a computer. Now, I know not every kid does have access to a computer, but if they do get to that point, hopefully we can find a workaround for them. But for the most part, this has been pretty effective. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.